All right, good morning everybody, and on behalf of OSI, I thank you for joining us to learn about the new Lightning Experience that is now available on the Salesforce platform. This is the first installment of OSI's ongoing Salesforce educational series. My name is Doug Tuff, and I'm a solutions manager with OSI in the Pacific Northwest. And I'll be hosting our webcast today with Rachel Bush, our subject matter expert and one of our Salesforce architects. Rachel has over 5 years of experience implementing Salesforce solutions for customers in many industries. She is a certified Salesforce administrator, developer, and Sales Cloud consultant. So now let's discuss our agenda and a few housekeeping items for today's webcast. So today's webcast will be a bit of an interactive discussion. I'll be occasionally asking Rachel a few questions during her portion of the presentation, and we'll be going over some of the following topics, like what is the Lightning Experience? How does the Lightning Experience compare with the Classic Experience? What are some of the features and benefits of Lightning? Should I migrate my users to Salesforce Lightning? And how do I figure out if Lightning is right for me and my company? Now, if you have any questions, we encourage you to type them into the chat on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. We want to keep this interactive, especially at the end when we conduct our question and answer session. So we'll be doing our best to get to all of those questions, and any that we don't get to, we will be following up with you via email or phone call after. So for now, I'm going to pass our webinar over to our subject matter expert, Rachel, and allow her to get started.
Thanks, Doug, for the introduction. Let's jump right in and just start with the first question. What exactly is the Lightning Experience? Well, it's an entirely revamped interface for the Sales Cloud. I like to think of Sales Cloud Lightning as version 2.0 for sales users. New features that help sales reps focus on the right deals and the right activities every time they log in. Flexible and interactive tools that sales reps can use to visualize data and work deals more quickly. Lightning was greatly influenced by Salesforce One Mobile. It brings the cool functionality previously available via mobile only directly to the desktop, providing a more seamless experience for users. Now, before taking a look at some of the Lightning features, let's review the supported editions and user licenses to see if your organization can enable and use the Lightning Experience. On the left side of this table lists those editions that have the capability to enable the Lightning Experience. So if you've purchased Salesforce Group, Professional, Enterprise, or Unlimited editions, org is equipped for Lightning. Developer editions are also available. One thing to note is Salesforce did recently announce some modifications to their editions and pricing model. Early in 2017, the Professional Edition, Enterprise Edition, and Unlimited Edition for Sales Cloud and Service Cloud will be replaced by a new Lightning Professional Edition, Lightning Enterprise Edition, and Lightning Unlimited Edition for Sales Cloud and Service Cloud, and will be priced at $75, $150, and $300 per user month. Now, existing Sales Cloud and Service Cloud customers will automatically receive the capabilities and features of the new Lightning editions. They will not need to change editions, and their pricing will be grandfathered in.
Now, Rachel, does a user need the new Lightning edition to get access to the Lightning Experience today?
No, and that's really a great question. The Lightning Experience is the new user experience for Salesforce. It is available today in all of our current editions. This slide just shows us the Sales Cloud licenses as well as Salesforce Platform and Force.com licenses. Identity users and internal community users may use the Lightning Experience. The unsupported editions are listed along the right-hand side. Now, Lightning Experience includes many new features and entirely redesigned pages, but not every Salesforce feature is supported currently in the Lightning Experience. So the Salesforce experience you've known to date, we'll call Salesforce Classic, is still available for you, and the users you enable for Lightning Experience can switch between the two at will.
Rachel, is the Salesforce Lightning Experience only for Sales Cloud users? What about the Service Cloud users that are in there?
Well, the Lightning experience being the key word, is available for Sales Cloud only. There is the Service Cloud Lightning Edition, but what this means is that this is a user experience built on the Lightning console, which provides the ability for agents to work quickly by accessing everything they need all in a single view. This is not the same thing as the new revamped interface for sales. Okay, let's take a look at the revamped homepage. Understanding what you get and don't get in the new interface is a big part of the decision to switch to Lightning Experience. The new homepage is filled with intelligent insights, a slick quarterly performance chart, and a helpful assistance feature highlighting what's important each day. These are available right out of the box. No configuration is required to use them. This slide demonstrates the differences in feature sets for the homepage in Lightning versus Classic. Most of us are familiar with tools such as your recent items and the quick create function. These will not be available to you when working in Lightning Experience, just as those features that are new in the Lightning Experience are not going to be available for the Classic version. Now let's take a quick look at the new Opportunity Workspace. The Opportunity Workspace is Command Central for sales users. It's the new go-to place for managing just about every part of the sales process. Users can create new opportunities, add notes and events, or update an existing opportunity's stage, close date, or amount. And what's really cool is that the Sales Path helps ensure adoption of your company's sales process by providing sales teams guidance through each stage, helping them stay focused on important tasks and ultimately close deals more quickly. Okay. Salesforce has also redesigned reports and dashboards for the Lightning Experience, making them more interactive, easier to navigate, and easier to edit. Lightning introduces a new dashboard editor with really robust capabilities. You can drag corners and sides of dashboard components to resize, as well as rearrange them on a flexible grid. Salesforce has also improved reporting capabilities in Lightning. They've enabled users to quickly add, remove, or change report filters without actually editing the report in the report builder, which I think is great. You can also quickly show or hide details like subtotals, grand totals, and record counts, again, without directly editing the reports. But one gotcha that I've found that you really need to be aware of here is that if you have Lightning enabled and you have a dashboard that you've created in Salesforce Classic and then it's open in Salesforce Lightning and then edited, Classic users are not going to be able to access and edit this dashboard again. So one of the workarounds here is cloning the dashboard and using one version for each Classic and Lightning. Now this slide shows there is a huge list of features dedicated to the Lightning Experience in the Summer 16 release. This is just a small subset of those features. Some of these items I would consider to be truly new enhancements to the platform, such as Lightning Voice, whereas some had already been available in Salesforce Classic, but not yet developed for Lightning. One example would be Opportunity Teams.
Now, Rachel, at this point, why would you not want to enable a Lightning switch for, it seems that Lightning has significantly improved their UI. Is that mainly what Lightning is about?
Well, Lightning Experience has, for Salesforce, they began with the Salesforce One mobile app and its underlying the Lightning framework, which gave them the foundation to reimagine the desktop experience. The result is Lightning, which it really is, like you said, a great new user experience, but it's also packed with new features to help sales reps sell faster, work more productively, and make better decisions. Okay, let's talk a little bit about understanding the user experience. Salesforce provides a feature called the switcher. When Lightning Experience is enabled for your users, those users can use this feature to switch back and forth between Lightning and Classic, and they'll find that in the upper right when working in the desktop. What's nice about this feature is that it's smart. Whenever you switch between experiences, it remembers that user experience as your default preference. So if you switch to Salesforce Classic, the Classic interface becomes your default preference. If you switch back to Lightning Experience, the new interface becomes your default preference. Now, there are a few switcher gotchas. Switching between Lightning and Classic is fast and easy, but switching between those interfaces affects the underlying URL routing logic and can lead to some unexpected results when links are resolved. This means there can be snags with bookmarks, sharing links in emails or chatter posts, especially if your organization has a subset of users authorized for Lightning Experience while others are still using Salesforce Classic. I would recommend keeping all members of a functional team on the same experience. If you have team members who often share links and work closely together, include all of them in the pilot. You can roll out Lightning Experience to a specific set of users only using profiles or permission sets, and we'll talk about that a little bit in a minute.
Now, Rachel, why would you not want to enable the Lightning switch for everyone?
Well, simply because not all features are available yet in the Lightning Experience. Not every business scenario is going to be supported in Lightning Experience. I'll give you a couple of examples. If you've enabled standard quotes in Salesforce to support your sales team so that they can generate quotes during customer visits, they would not be able to access that via Lightning. If you've set up collaborative forecasting for your sales operations team to support the sales process and manage your company's pipeline, again, that's a major consideration. And also, if you've deployed the Salesforce console for sales for your inside sales team to help them manage multiple lead times simultaneously, you can't use the console and Lightning at the same time. There are also some other features that don't work in Lightning Experience. Custom buttons that use JavaScript content source aren't supported. Record and then automatically creates a related quote record. This is a consideration. Making the decision to migrate to Lightning Experience would require you to replace some of the functions covered by these buttons. You could certainly do this by Process Builder, using the Process Builder, but there is going to be some prep work in getting that set up. Users working in Salesforce Classic may be used to customizing the tabs they see across the top of their screen in Salesforce. Lightning Experience replaces the Salesforce Classic tab bar with a collapsible navigation menu along the left-hand side. So those customizations made to the tab bar in the Classic interface aren't reflected in the navigation menu. And then the big question, what about Apex and Visualforce? I think this is the one that gets people a little bit scared. When we talk about customizing Salesforce programmatically, we're talking about using code to add new features. Most of the time, like when you're using the API or writing Apex triggers, there isn't an actual user interface to this feature. So this stuff is just going to continue to work as it had before. Other features that do have a user interface, in that case, we're mostly talking about Visualforce, right? The existing Visualforce pages work in Lightning Experience, many without needing any revisions, but because things have moved around in the new interface, you want to complete some chores to make sure your Visualforce pages work the way you expect.
Now, Rachel, you mentioned being careful around customization. How can you tell which apps use custom objects and could create a problem with Lightning?
Well, let's talk about customization in general. If you are one that likes to use third-party apps available from the App Exchange, that when you go to the App Exchange, you'll see that it is supported in the Lightning Experience with a Lightning Ready sash. So there's a badge right on the listing you can see. In addition to the general App Exchange, you can also access the Lightning Exchange, which provides components built by Salesforce Labs and Salesforce partners, making it easy for developers, partners, and customers to find and use components to build apps and pages fast. Let's talk a little bit about your options for rolling out the Salesforce Lightning Experience to your users. There are kind of three different pathways you can take here. If you're a new organization or you're just getting started with Salesforce and you are sales focused, go ahead and start with the Lightning Experience. There's no sense in training on Salesforce Classic and then again down the road with the Lightning Experience. Second option, which I did touch on earlier, is that you can pilot Salesforce Lightning Experience to just a group of users. And you can do this by creating permission sets and assigning those to profiles, and then just run a pilot of the Lightning Experience to those users only. third option, which I would not recommend, is that you migrate your entire user population at one time to Lightning Experience. I'd like to remind you here that anything you've done documentation-wise to support your existing org is not going to be relevant anymore. So there would be a lot of preparation involved, a lot of training and legwork in order to get all of your users up at once. Okay, let's talk about some of the use cases for enabling Lightning Experience. Lightning Experience might be right for some or all of your org if your sales team does business-to-business sales using accounts, contacts, leads, opportunities, and custom objects. If your company does business primarily with consumers directly as opposed to businesses, Lightning may not be right for you as a person account model offered by Salesforce is not yet fully supported. Again, you want to pilot the new user interface with a group of existing sales reps. You could also onboard new sales hires to Lightning as opposed to first training on Classic and a second time on Lightning. Or if you're looking to reboot your existing Salesforce implementation, this is a great opportunity to introduce new features because you're doing change management anyway. Now, you may need to stick with Salesforce Classic for now if your sales team makes regular use of features that aren't yet available in Lightning Experience, like I mentioned earlier, quotes, forecasting, territory management. If you primarily use customer service tools or other non-sales features, Salesforce Lightning may not be right for you. If you want a single experience for both your sales and service teams, again, you may need to stick with Salesforce Classic. If your users leverage the Salesforce console for sales, you'll need to stick with Classic for now, as you cannot use the Salesforce console for sales with the Lightning Experience. And if you're a nonprofit organization on a nonprofit starter pack, I would caution you to stay with Salesforce Classic for now.
So, Rachel, when you say stay with Salesforce Classic for now, what does the future hold for Salesforce Classic? I'm sure there's many people asking themselves that question.
Doug, that really is a big question. And at this point, we don't have an answer for that. As we've seen today, Salesforce is investing more into the Lightning Experience and providing new functionality for it with each new release. It's safe to say that for now, Salesforce Classic is here to stay, as there are just too many unsupported features with Lightning, but I do believe that this is a natural evolution of the platform, and sometime in the future, we may need to switch. So if you're looking for a place to learn more about Salesforce Lightning, I highly suggest heading to the Salesforce Trailhead website. There are several different trails dedicated to the Lightning Experience, and there are several available for many roles. You can also head to the Salesforce Help and Training website, where you'll find plenty of links to documentation, as well as the ability to log into the Success community.
Now, Rachel, you mentioned all this Salesforce Help and Training. Is it available to anyone or just paid users?
Yes, that's one thing I really like about Salesforce. The documentation is readily available for everyone and very easy to find. And one thing I always recommend is that you get to know your release notes. With the recent Summer 16 release notes, Salesforce has provided experience information at the highest level where that information is applicable for entire clouds or for individual clouds or for individual features within clouds. In the notes, it will read something like this. Opportunity Workspace, a new Sales Cloud feature, is available in Lightning Experience only. So its description says, this feature is available in Lightning Experience only.
All right, so thank you, Rachel, for going over the highlights of Salesforce Lightning. We just covered a lot of material, so we're going to include a brief recap of what we just covered. So one, we went over the Lightning experience and how it's redesigned with sales in mind. We also covered the difference between Lightning and Classic and the new feature sets available to you. We also covered the notable benefits like action-oriented workspaces and more robust dashboards. We also discussed 3 different options for migrating or onboarding users and some of the best use cases for enabling Lightning experience. And finally, we discussed your resources online to help you get started in determining if Lightning is right for your organization. And remember, it's free and open for everyone. You don't have to be a subscriber. So if you have any questions or interest in upgrading to Lightning, we encourage you to give us a call or send us an email at sales@osius.com. Our Salesforce group of experts would be happy to discuss your situation and guide you through the process of evaluating your position and, if needed, helping you build the internal approval needed for the Lightning experience. Now, an important question you're going to find yourself asking yourself is, why would you want to work with a company like OSI? OSI is a global professional services firm founded back in 1993. We are a certified Salesforce consulting partner and have completed over 60 Salesforce implementations, along with numerous formal certifications with Salesforce. We've been doing great work for over the past 23 years and have over 1,200 professionals worldwide. We have a number of services groups outside of our Salesforce group. That includes packaged application implementations for Oracle, PeopleSoft, Hyperion, and others. We also provide infrastructure, cloud services, system integration, BI, and data analytics services. We have a lot under our hood and have a large pool of experience and talent to use for future engagements. So we want to thank you for joining us. We're going to jump into our question and answer session. And I'd also like to remind everybody that this event is being recorded and will be uploaded to our new YouTube channel, which we're going to be rolling out, I believe, in the next 24 hours. And if you have attended this webinar, our marketing team is going to be sending out a follow-up email with the link to our YouTube channel. And I'd like to remind you that not only are we going to be posting this session, but all of our future sessions around our Salesforce informational series. So I believe we've had some questions coming through, and I think one of our first was asking if the webinar is being recorded for later, which I hope I've answered. And it looks like we have another question coming through, coming in from Aditri. She's asking if Lightning impacts mobile. Rachel, would you be able to take this?
Yeah, that's an easy question. No, enabling Lightning in your org is not going to impact your user's mobile experience at all.
Okay, great. So it looks like we have another question coming through here. What apps in the App Exchange are Lightning ready, and how can I tell?
Well, when you go to the App Exchange, Salesforce has a new Lightning Ready certification, as I mentioned previously, and there is a badge that you'll see on that app listing that identifies it as being Lightning Ready. They've also provided some filters that enable you to quickly find just those apps that have that certification.
Great, thanks, Rachel. Taking a look here through some others. Okay, and so it looks like we have another question coming in from Rama. He's heard that Apex is still supported in Lightning. Could you speak to that, Rachel?
You are absolutely correct. Apex is the business logic going on behind the scenes, and the Lightning experience affects the user interface. So those two don't. We have another question. So yeah.
Okay, so it does look like there's another question coming in here, and they're asking if, and this comes from Sean, are there some Lightning features that are not functioning in Salesforce Mobile 1? I believe that's their mobile application that was recently released.
I would say yes. The available feature set across the different experiences is not going to be the same. So you will find yet that some features and functionality are available in the desktop that are not available in mobile, but also vice versa.
Okay, and it looks like Sean also asked another question. If This deck and links will be sent to us along with the recording. I believe the answer is yes. I'm going to double check with marketing, but we will be sending out the deck. That's usually a standard follow-up for us. And we will include any relevant links. So the answer is yes. And if you don't want to sift through the deck and look at it on YouTube, that will be available as well. Looks like we had another question come in from Paul asking if Lightning is free and if you're obligated to purchase any additional licensing.
Okay, so when you purchase Salesforce, you are purchasing Salesforce Lightning. It's not like you have to purchase an add-on. Salesforce has revamped its pricing model and their editions, and they're referring to them as the Lightning editions. The cost is going up a little bit, but along with that cost increase, they are providing enhanced set of functionality available to you within those editions. But again, if you purchase Salesforce and it's a supported edition, you will have Lightning available to you.
All right, looks like we have one more, and then we're going to sign off here. So it looks like Tracy is asking when when is Salesforce ending their classic version? Do we know?
At this point in time, we really have no idea. That's a big question. We can only surmise that it would be quite a ways into the future because there's still a lot of unsupported features that are available in Classic that are not available with the Lightning experience.
All right. Thank you so much, Rachel. And it seems that's about all the time we have now for our questions. And if you had any additional questions or if any questions did not get answered, I promise you we will be following up and we will be answering those privately one-on-one. And once again, we appreciate your time. Thank you for taking about a half hour to join us. We know you're all busy, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Take care.